Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao, and this is One News Now. FIVOLCS is allaying fears of a possible tsunami following the magnitude 6 earthquake in Masbate earlier today. In an interview with One Balita Pilipinas, FIVOLCS officer in charge, Dr. Teresito Bacolcol, said that a tsunami is not possible as there was no, quote, vertical displacement on the seafloor. He also said that the tremor early Thursday was already the main shock.
Meron tayong mga lindol kahapon, and isa dito yung magnitude 5.0. Mga bandang alas 5 ng hapon, to be exact, 5:15. The thing is, foreshocks are always hindsight. Malalaman na lang natin na foreshock pala yun if there is a bigger event after it. Aftershocks will probably take several days to several weeks.
Meanwhile, the Masbate Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office head, Dr. Adonis Dilao, reported that no casualties have been reported so far in Masbate and that power has been restored in the province. He added that they are still waiting for the reports of local government units on the extent of the quake's damage.
Ang mga tao, alerto pa rin at hindi pa rin namin sila mahikayat na bumalik sa kanilang mga tahanan. Hinihintay po namin ang reports from the lower level LGUs para isubmit sa OCD. Pero may mga initial report na ginawa kahapon kamukha ng pagkandak namin ng inspection sa mga establishmento dito sa City of Masbate. So may mga establishmento na nakitaan na ng pitak.
In other news, the Philippine Army has filed charges in relation to the murder of businesswoman and model Yvonne Chua Plaza. Brigadier General Jesus Durante III and Colonel Michael Licyayo were named as respondents. They are facing complaints violating 2 articles of war. One is for conduct unbecoming of an officer and gentleman, and the other, conduct prejudicial to good order and military discipline. Durante has been tagged by police as the mastermind behind Plaza's killing. Plaza was gunned down by a pair of motorcycle riding assassins in front of her house in Davao City last December.
Pre-trial investigation is still ongoing, and we already gave a copy of the charges to both Generals Durante and Colonel Licyayo. And they have given their counter affidavits already. So our Provost Marshal and our Judge Advocate in the Philippine Army are studying now the affidavits of these 2 respondents.
Japanese car manufacturer Toyota is planning to revive the iconic Tamaraw FX in the Philippines. Speaking to the Chiefs, Trade and Industry Secretary Fred Pascual said the car maker is already setting up facilities to assemble the old Tamaraw, but using modern parts and digital technology. Around 4.4 billion pesos will be invested in this project, which will also offer services similar to that of ride-hailing apps.
What will happen is they'll produce a unit with a cab and a chassis, and there will be flexibility on how depending on the use of the vehicle, they can say build a van type for delivery or jeepney type for passenger, or add another cab to make it a family vehicle. They call it mobility vehicle. Okay. But it's Tamaraw-like. I don't know whether they'll adopt the brand or name Tamaraw in this new vehicle.
We'll be pausing for a quick break, but One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here. Welcome back to One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. A local think tank warns that if the current version of the Maharlika Investment Fund Bill is passed into law, it could put the country's financial system at risk. Mayan Los Baños with the details.
The Foundation for Economic Freedom is pushing for the Marcos administration to reconsider using state-run financial institutions as sources of funding for the Maharlika Investment Fund to arrest a possible fallout. The FEF explained that the investment from the Development Bank of the Philippines and the Land Bank of the Philippines will be so huge that once the MIF value goes down, it will not only affect the two government banks but the banking system itself.
Maaaring mag-spread po yan ang contagion to the rest of the banking system. Lalo na po ito the banking system, and therefore they are subjected to all sorts of financial crisis and financial panic.
As it is, the current version of the Sovereign Wealth Fund states that the LBP would be contributing 50 billion pesos as initial capital for the Maharlika, while the DBP would inject 25 billion pesos. The Economic Advocacy Group also expressed worries on tilting the playing field once the MIF is passed with provision that it will be exempted from taxes. According to them, this will give an unfair advantage that may discourage investors.
An uneven playing field will dampen rather to improve the investment climate. So instead of marami pong investments ang papasok, mas maaring ma-deter po yung mga legitimate investors sapagkat nakikita nila na hindi po level yung playing field.
Senate Committee on Banks, Financial Institutions and Currencies Chairman Senator Mark Villar explained that the MIF is tax-free since the money will go directly to social-civic projects. The Land Bank Administration likewise ensured that they have enough investable funds, which stands at 1.3 trillion pesos. But these figures did not sit well with Senator Win Gatchalian.
So I'm actually not impressed to hear that there is 1.5 trillion lying around not being lent to our agriculture sector. Modernizing needs a lot of capital. How come there's 1.3 trillion lying around and not being plowed into the agriculture sector?
Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel, on the other hand, wishes that the bill would be polished before it reaches Senate hearings.
I hope this is not rushed. Whatever you can cure, please cure. What is the real reason why we are entertaining this proposal? Where will the funds come from? What will be the role of this corporation? Yung mga safeguards.
The Committee on Banks is set to continue its hearing on the Maharlika Fund in the weeks to come. Reporting for News 5, Mayan Los Baños, we are One News.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. Cash remittances last year jumped by 3.6% to $32.54 billion. This is an all-time high, exceeding the previous record of $31.42 billion in 2021. Economists say that aside from the holiday season, high inflation could have prompted OFWs to send more money back home. The National Bureau of Investigation has sent another subpoena to officials of Flex Fuel Petroleum Corporation, including its former chairman, Luis Manzano. Company officials are compelled to comment on the ongoing probe into allegations of fraud from over 50 investors. Manzano's camp had earlier asked the NBI for a 15-day extension to reply to the first subpoena. Medical workers and senior citizens will be the first to receive COVID bivalent vaccines once they arrive in the country. Bivalent shots prevent severe COVID diseases caused by several variants. The first batch of some 1 million doses of bivalent Pfizer vaccines from the COVAX facility are expected to arrive before the end of March. And for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.